Hashtags on Instagram. Okay, this is going to be kind of long because hashtags are huge. They're very important. So if you need to stop the video, go ahead. And if you see me checking my notes, that's because I wrote a bunch of stuff down so I didn't forget to tell you. So Instagram allows 30 hashtags. And while you don't need to use all 30 of the hashtags, don't be shy. Keep in mind that the more hashtags you use, the more likely you're going to be found in search. Hashtags are the SEO or search optimization in Instagram. There's only two ways to find things on Instagram: username and hashtags. So if you're not using hashtags, you're not going to be seen by outsiders searching for images like yours. So, what else should we do? Don't get in the habit of using the same hashtags all the time. Don't think the same hashtags belong on every image you use, or keep it so small that you're not going to find outside people. You'll never get found by new people. That's not so cool. So we're going to get this going broad, and you're going to see in a minute how we're going to do this. Now, you do need a set of hashtags that you use for every post. These are going to be pretty bland common denominators that will probably be used on all your posts if you're in a niche. Make those, get them ready. But then we want to add hashtags that are very specific for that particular post, be it a video or an image. Now, you need to make a hashtag sheet. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can use a Word doc, a Notepad doc, Excel, whatever you'd like to use, and you're going to start gathering hashtags that you use often and put them on this sheet. I want you to categorize this sheet. So as you get them organized for specific things you post, it's going to be much easier to find what you need later. This is a never-ending build on a lot of these sheets, especially as you expand things and learn more about hashtags, what work and what doesn't. Now, I keep my hashtag list for each account in my docs on my computer. Now, my friend Lainey uses mobile. She has hers in Google Drive, so she can go over there and get to her list easy. So make your list. If you're going to try to do hashtags just by thinking on the spur of the moment, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. So next up, when you find keywords, you can then think of description words. So here's what, just off the top of my head, I had for cars when I wrote this out. Instead of just the hashtag cars, I can go old school car, muscle car, classic car, refurbished car, red car, custom car, vintage car, car gram, car show, car selfie, and those were the ones that popped in my head right then. We didn't even try automobile or truck, or didn't even expand into the type of cars. So you can see that hashtags can grow quick. Some are better than others, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So to start searching for these definers, at the top of Instagram, you're going to see a search bar. I want you to go up, put your hashtag in, and then put your first description word. I would have put car. And then the list will pop down. Start looking through that. See what else it's suggesting. Now, I use desktop because I can do it a lot quicker on desktop than mobile. I can pop open the ones I'm interested in new tabs, and I've got them going all the way across as I go through them, and look at them. We're going to look to see how many posts are in it. Some have millions. Some hashtags may only have a couple hundred. We're going to look and see. And the reason we want to know how many there are is you want popular hashtags and some that may be on the fringe and not so popular. And the reason for this is when you have a super popular hashtag, there's the hashtag cute. I don't know off the top of my head how many there are, but a lot, a whole lot. The problem with that is when you use that hashtag cute and someone searches for it, your image is going to be shoved down so quickly, it's not going to have time to sit there and let anybody find it. They're going to have to be there right then or they won't find it. So if you use a few that are unique and maybe not as popular, you can sit in that top row, couple rows of regulars for a while and maybe get found by somebody just out searching for you. So start that way in making your list. It's the easiest way to go. And like I said, some hashtags are going to look better than others. Some you may open up thinking you know what they mean, and it's overran by something crazy that you didn't associate with. So check the hashtags before you start typing them in. So another way to find hashtags is search for, you can do a Google search, Facebook, maybe you know other companies or brands in your same niche. Go look for them on Instagram. Start opening up their popular pictures. If they've got some hot images going with a lot of likes, a lot of comments, pop them open. Look at their hashtags. And yes, if they're doing really hot, start checking their hashtags. You can always just click on it, open it, see how well it's doing, decide whether or not it's good or bad. If you're going in and just looking at one niche and trying to steal all their hashtags and thinking you're going to be just as hot, there's so many other things that come to play in it. So that's really not a good idea. Steal the good ones and put them in your list that you can use. But to just copy out their hashtags and think you're going to get the same results probably won't happen. So that's one way to add to your list. And when you're picking your hashtags, you want them specific to your brand and to that image. I'm not going to put red car as a hashtag on a blue pickup truck. It makes no sense. But I'm also not going to put social media on a picture of a car. It doesn't work. So use some common sense so you're hitting your target audience. The people that are finding you are looking for you and what you're sharing. Otherwise, you're just going to get a bunch of crap followers that think they're going to follow you, and you're going to post something that you're not, they're going to end up leaving anyway. So let's target these. Now, if you are a local business, I want you to post your city name as your hashtag, or maybe a large city nearby. If where I'm at right now, I'm not really in Las Vegas, but I use the Las Vegas hashtag a lot. I may go to a car show and get pictures from a nearby town. I may also use Las Vegas in that hashtag because people aren't looking for little tiny towns. So I try to get in as long as it's still close. But if you're a local business, your city name should be right in there. Or a large city next to you if you're in a smaller town. And another time you may want to use a location is if you are at an event or you're posting a picture from that location. If I went out to Red Rock, which is a place here in Nevada, and took pictures, which I have, I may put Red Rock in the hashtags because that's where I was. Or maybe you're coming to visit Las Vegas and taking a bunch of selfies of you, and you're going to put Las Vegas in it. So if you're at that location for an event, for any reason, you can use that city's hashtag. I want you to also keep in mind, not every word is a freaking hashtag. Don't get in the habit of thinking any word you have is a hashtag. It's going to throw you way off target again. Use some common sense. Stay with your target. Don't make hashtags in your commentary. Once you post your picture and you go to write your description, write your description. Then you can space or go down. You can even put a couple of lines and then put in your group of hashtags. Putting hashtags in your commentary makes it look messy. It's hard to read. And usually that's when people tend to hashtag stupid words that have nothing to do with their target. So don't hashtag irrelevant words. Okay. I also hear a lot of people saying, make your username or your brand name a hashtag. This way, when someone sees one of your images, they can click on that hashtag and see all the rest of your pictures. Here's the logic. If they're looking at one of my pictures, wouldn't they just click on my username, go to my profile, find my follow button and follow me? Yeah. I don't see a point in the username hashtag. You may want to make an abbreviation or a unique hashtag that could associate you or other people associate with you and use that. But to just put your username doesn't make any sense to me. And as far as unique hashtags, not only for your brand, but sometimes you can make some fun hashtags. You know, it doesn't matter. That hashtag may go right up under your commentary, or the only time you have one in your commentary is because it's fun. It adds a little personality. Those are fun, but don't get hooked on them. They're probably not your target. They're for entertainment. And if you are using a series, if you're going to do a certain series of posts, I know someone who used the hashtag Mum Said to run a series of posts of things mothers say. That's another reason to use a unique hashtag that may not be popular, but it's going to group all of those together when someone clicks on it. Now, if you are having an event or having a contest, you're going to want to make a unique hashtag for that event or contest. Before you just pick something, put it in and search it and find it. Because sometimes you may think it's unique and you get over there and look during your contest or your event and you find out you're associated with something you really don't want to be associated with. So do your research before picking a contest or an event tag. I've seen it happen. Kind of funny, but not to the people holding the contest or the event. So this tip is for later when we move on to some other things. Put your most relevant tags at the top of that tag list. And by most relevant, what I mean is this is going to be later when you share out your images. Now, if you have a short commentary, if you share via Twitter right there on your Instagram, it's going to send out a tweet with part of your commentary and the first couple of tags. Also, for a method I use for sharing all over the place, I like those relevant tags that are important on, say, Twitter, right at the top, because Twitter's not going to take all your commentary and all your hashtags, and you're going to have to do some editing. So you want those handy. You don't want to have to search through them all. So keep that in mind when you're posting that list of hashtags on there. And while there are tools out there that show you trending hashtags, they show you hashtags to get followers. They show you a ton of hashtags. You can find them. The problem with this is They may not be relevant to you and your niche. And what I find is if you will learn to search and learn to discover your own hashtags, you're going to get a broader idea of what hashtags are. And in the long run, it's going to be a benefit. If all you're doing is using trending hashtags, you're not going to expand your knowledge when you want to really start diving in. So that's why I suggest you do your own research. Is it okay to go look at those lists and get some ideas? Sure. Don't rely on them. And so this should get you started on Instagram hashtagging. I know it was a lot. There's more to hashtagging, but just use common sense and start expanding those hashtags and research, because later on we're also going to use them for building engagement. And the better your hashtags are, the better that's going to work. So if you got questions, ask down below and we'll see if we can't get you going.